Simon from simonwood.com. Oh golly, I'm choking here. That's because I'm anticipating 6 bracing white wines from Australia, made from the grape which in France is known as Semillon, S-E-acute, M-I-L-L-O-N, but in the Hunter Valley in Australia it's known as Semillon, with a hard L, because they're hard men who like hard drinks. High in alcohol, of course. Well, actually, no. Hunter Valley Semillon is this weird grape, because, well, it's this weird wine style. The alcohol's here. Let's have a look what this one is. 11.5%. What's this one? 10.5%. The typical alcohols for these, sometimes you get them as low as 9%. That's 10.5%. And it's Hunter Valley. Yeah, it's one of those regions that became famous, probably one of the first regions that Australia became known for back in the 70s, outside Australia, of course. The wines that it's a hot region, but the weird thing is, you add up the heat days, and it's actually hotter than the Barossa Valley. But what it doesn't have the heat spikes, so you never get quite that really intense, almost like baked, burnt flavour that you can in some Barossa Valley reds. But on the white side, well, Semillon for some reason manages to ripen and get the flavours right quite early. So they're picking Semillon typically, I don't know, beginning of February, for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe even end of January. They say really from Australia Day onwards. So yeah, 10.5%. They sometimes when you get them when they're young, they can be a bit forbidding. Let's see whether this one is. I've got 2 from this guy, Keith Tulloch. I've got a 2010 and I've got a 2009. So let's see what they're like. Well, 2010 was quite a good year for them, and sometimes these wines can be really, really anally retentive and not very showy at all when they're young. 2010 seems to have been a vintage where actually there's more fruit and there's more softness and freshness, and this one here, certainly I was expecting something like slightly blood curdling and buttock clenching, but it feels like it's going to be quite nice. A bit of zest, a bit of slightly tropical, maybe even pineapple notes here. But it's that zesty lime, lemon, yeah, citrus flavours to the fore. Clean, mean, lean, green. It's a really lovely sappy character coming through there. Yes, there's the citrus. Yes, there's strange things like green gauge. Maybe something a bit more tropical. Something on that pineapple pawpaw edge. But running through it all, this undercurrent of zesty minerality. Feels really bracing, but not too aggressive. I was expecting something maybe a bit more stark and forbidding, but it looks really nice today, actually. Okay, let's see what 2009's like. And a year older, and what's happened is the fruit's slightly softened. So whereas you were getting some of that bracing, almost like an even briny character coming through there. Here it feels like it's softened, and you're getting more rounded, richer flavours, more of that tropical edge coming through. But still, this undercurrent of lime and yeah, zesty minerality. Now the strange thing about that one, it's a year older, and the fruit flavours have softened, but different vintage. You've got more of a spine, more of a backbone. I mean, it feels like the 2010, I mean, the wines like this, because of their zesty acidity, they do go on, and we'll see later on just what happens as they age. But it feels like 2010 will be a pretty good medium to long-term keeper. This one feels like it's got even more potential, so certainly a good 10 years ahead of this, and probably considerably more. I like that a lot. I like that very much. Do I prefer 2009 or 2010? Well, I think they're both nice. Next one, Glenguin Estate, the old Broke Block Semillon. There's a place in the Hunter Valley called Broke, so the old Broke Block. So 2006, 3 years older than the one before. Let's see what age has done to it. Well, it's rounded it out, and getting something ever so slight lime lemon jelly character here. No, I don't mean fresh jelly. You know, sometimes you get that really concentrated jelly cube character. Here, it's much more normal set jelly that's been diluted. And what's starting to come through, and this is something that comes with age, you're getting that nutty thing is hazelnuts, you'd almost start to believe that there's been a bit of oak influence in the wine here. No oak on any of these at all. Well, I think there's oak on the last one, but certainly on these Hunter ones, oak free. But you're getting this richness coming through, and yeah, it's more on the tropical edge as well. You're getting guava, pawpaw, again, still with this citrus thing going on there, but you're getting this creamy, almost custard-like character as well. There's even something a little petrol-y. If someone had said there was a dollop of Alsace Riesling in there, I'd have believed them. Because you're getting that, yeah, that mixture of zesty citrus and pithy, almost tropical mineral notes. I know what I mean. Maybe slightly short compared with the Keith Tulloch, but these wines are weird. They start off good, and then sometimes they go into a little dip, and then they emerge ugly duckling-like. So maybe give that a few hours and see if that comes through. But at the moment, it just feels a little short. Still tasty though. Okay. Two wineries, I suppose, excel at Hunter Semillon. One of them is Mount Williams, and this is their Mount Pleasant Elizabeth. It used to be called Elizabeth Riesling because Hunter Valley Riesling was another term for Semillon. Nothing to do with Riesling, but they used to bottle it until about 20 years ago in a Riesling type flute. So this is 2005 vintage, and they've got this is their, I suppose, medium range cuvee. They've got a top one called Lovedale, which is a particular vineyard, and it's superb wine, superb wine. I think 2005 is current vintage for that as well. So they give it 5 years and yeah, let it really show what it can do. But this, I think this is about 10 quid, bargain. Well, I haven't tasted it. I have tasted this wine before, but it usually doesn't fail to deliver. Yeah, more toast, more of that honeyed, nutty honeycomb character, and yeah, you'd swear it had been in an oak barrel. It's got that toasty hazelnut character, some creaminess, but again, behind it all, you feel this bracing character. So, it smells like it's going to be really, really good. What's so lovely about it is it starts off rich, and then your mouth just it feels like it's all cleansed and cleaned and left refreshed. You've got this toastiness, you've got these tropical flavours, you've got this zestiness, bit of that custard character. Really lovely wine, and still feels like a pup. I mean, 5 years old, another good, still 10 years ahead of that. I mean, if you're looking for wine to lay down, this is a banker, really. I mean, just stick it away 15 years and you will not be disappointed. I'd be much happier to spend, I mean, 10 quid for a wine that lasts that long. Whoa. Another classic, Turells is the other one. Turells Semillon is, yeah, I mean, this is their top bottling, that one. And I think as of this vintage, all in screw cap, because they went through a real problem with corks. There were some terrific wines in the late 90s which were cocked up by bad corks. So this is 2003 vintage, and this smells really young. I mean, it smells younger than the Mount Pleasant. It's not even started to develop that toastiness. What you're left with is leanness, fine-boned character, and I'm sure if I agitate it a little bit, I might start getting that toasty character through. But at the moment, it's just ramrod straight, and it smells very appealing. And there's a lovely, strange, savoury character going on there, like briny intensity. It feels, it almost feels like it's been grown close to the sea and absorbs some of the sea air. There's some nuttiness just starting at the back, but again, these guava and citrus flavours. Whoa. It's Tuesday today. I have a strong feeling that that wine will be tasting good on Friday. At the moment, it really is just not coming out to play today. It feels all curled up. It feels like everything is there to make a great bottle. But today, it's just come back tomorrow, or come back the day after tomorrow. Final one. This is where we go to another part of Australia. We're in the Barossa here, and Peter Lehman is one of the people in the Barossa who does Semillon pretty well. But the style that they do there is a bit different. Slightly higher in alcohol, not all that much higher. This one's only 11.5%, and often they'll give it a little bit of oak aging. I don't know whether it's anyway. This is their top Semillon, named after Margaret, Peter Lehman's wife, PL as they call him. And it's a fuller, fleshier, richer style. There's some of that petrol that I was getting in one of the earlier wines here. Some of the toasty, honeyed, nutty character coming through too. I mean, the basic Peter Lehman Semillon, I'm not sure how much it costs now, but it's about £7, and again, that's another wine that ages terrifically. Yeah, it's got more richness and roundness than the Hunter styles, and there's some smokiness in there that I was saying before about the toasty character that made me think about oak aging here. I've got a feeling that this has been in an oak barrel, because there may be a bit of toastiness, but there is this smoky character which it adds to the wine, makes it fuller, fleshier, and it almost like holds it all together. There's the backbone of acidity. There's this oak, maybe a bit of tannin from the oak leaching into the wine, giving it a bit more structure. Again, it feels like a desperately young wine. I mean, this 6 years old, still feels like it'll be going strong 5-10 years from now. I mean, if you want to put it in terms of European wines, maybe the Hunter style is more on the Chablis end, and the Barossa is a bit more Côte d'Or, a bit more corpulent, a bit more flesh, but still not too corpulent, not too fleshy. But a great set of 6 wines. I mean, this is if you don't drink Hunter Semillon, or if you don't drink any Australian Semillon, go out and get them, because they're waiting to be discovered. They're not a daft price. They're typically cheaper than each of these wineries' Chardonnays would be, but often considerably better. See you soon.